Welcome, everybody, to 2025. So they keep telling me. Whether it is or it isn't doesn't really make any difference. What's important is our health and well-being and how we can navigate through these coming days, weeks, months, and hopefully years. Tonight, no exception. I brought on some beautiful pure energy healers to share their story, to share their experiences, and also to give you ideas, thoughts, some time to sit down and ponder what they say tonight and maybe utilize that, or even give them a call at any time, because they're all working, practicing healers. I don't know how many healers we're going to get on tonight, how many can jump in, but as they do, I'm going to bring them on. And we're just going to have a lovely chat amongst ourselves. And for you guys, maybe just to have a listen to what's going on. The one thing I haven't done is just checked my audio. Oh, yeah, it's perfect. My audio says I'm on this mic, which is great. Probably loud, right? So, okay, so I want to introduce you all to energy healing. So I decided to come up with a name many years ago to kind of understand from a point of view as somebody who doesn't really even understand what healing is or energy is. The word that I came up with was pure. And the one thing I've learned over 20 years is pure is something that you have to work really hard towards. I mean, when you talk about a pure soul, what is a pure soul? How do you even get there? It was once said to me that pure is too powerful word for you to use it in your healing. But my interpretation of pure is that we work towards the purest form of healing. Not that we are pure, but we see that as something that we aim to get as close to as possible. So the Pure Energy Healing Academy started with a simple lady getting up off the healing table, the bed, and saying, what happened? What just happened there? And I'm smiling, saying, well, you just had a healing session. Well, whatever it was, I want to learn it. And it started that way. My clients were asking me what I was doing and please share what I was doing. And we are now a good 2 decades in. We have thousands of pure energy healers worldwide. And we've just got a few selected healers here tonight who are practicing healers who are just going to share some stories with you. Tonight, we kind of delve into spiritual health, if that means anything to anybody, or spiritual attunement, how energy is created, how we can dispel certain energies, highs, lows, dark, light, heavy. There's just so much to talk about here when we delve into energy. So before we start, I just want to share a couple of things. And the first thing I want to share is something that was very profound that happened as a healer when I was full-time healing. And it was in London, in a place which was called I think it was a big stadium. There were thousands of people there. And it was a mind, body, and spirit festival. And I'd just got myself a small unit. And I just wanted to give healings. For some reason, I was called to go there. Don't know why, but I just went. And one of 2 things happened which was profound to me. The first one was of a young boy. And as I gave the young boy healing, I could see a past life appear before my eyes. And it's not something that I look for or even want. And I'm sure most healers don't look for anything. It just comes to you. But I saw him fall off a boat and I saw him drowned. And when I'd finished the healing session, his mother was kind of very, very spiritual, but the son was non-believer. And the only reason why she brought him to me was because she wanted me to help him see the truth, what lies within healing and the psychic work that the psychic that is within all of us. When we'd finished the healing session, the boy smiled, not really feeling anything, I don't think, too much, not thinking anything too much, but I did say some words to him. No reason why, but I just felt it. I said, you know, sometimes in life we see things that we don't even realize that are there. And I looked in his eyes and I said, you see, the reason why I know something about you is because I saw it. And I said, I know that you are absolutely frightened of water. You're frightened of swimming. You're frightened of the sea. You're frightened of any water anywhere. You won't go near it. And the reason why that is because I saw a past life of you falling into the water. And the boy got up and said to his mother, how did he know that? And the mother looked at me and smiled and said, thank you so much. And they walked off. And I realized that just one little sentence of a stranger to another stranger sharing something that was so intimate with that boy, that one thing changed the boy's life. He's now questioning his self. And the point I want to make about that is that healing isn't always on a level of clearing energy. It's not always on a level of healing tumors or fixing issues like depression. It also is subtle, but extremely powerful. And just a simple thing like what I saw and shared with a little boy has now transformed his whole perception of life just with a few words. So I think that's really important to know, that pure energy healers don't just work on one level, they work on many. And they are very open to whatever comes, and they're not forceful. They don't try. It's just a natural thing that happens. And if there is something that pops up, we will give that information if asked, or if we feel it's necessary. We don't force, we don't give bad news, we just give love, and we want to heal that soul. The second part of the story was of a lady who was brought forward by two men. The lady was being lifted up. She looked like she couldn't walk. She looked like the life that was in her was gone. She was on her last legs. She didn't want to live. She didn't want to be here at all. It was a terrible sight for anybody else to see. However, I had a smile on my face, and she laid down, and I started the healing session. When the healing session had ended, the tears and the suffering that was released through the hour and 20 minutes, I allowed that lovely lady to just be at peace then, and I sat down and waited for her to get up. She got up without the help of her two brothers. She came up to me and gave me a hug and said, thank you. And she was able to walk off and be healed. What had happened to that lady was so profound that I don't want to really talk about it too much, but it was bad. But the fact that even at the worst point of your life, when you don't even want to be here, pure energy healers have this ability to change, to cleanse, to clear the most dark energy that attaches or can be that we create within ourselves through suffering and through experience that we have to go through. So I'm just bringing a few more people in, and I'm just muting everybody at the moment, because if I don't mute everybody, you're going to hear lots of noise. But I want to say welcome to all the pure energy healers who I know it was very short notice. As usual, Mark works in the moment. But thank you all for taking the time, all of you, for being here thus far. And I'm surprised that anybody, because there's a lot of people busy right now. So thank you so much for taking the time and sharing your time with those who are on and those who will watch the replay. Okay, so I've explained to my audience that tonight is all about uplifting energy. It's all about ideas and things that you've learned along your healing practice, and how you've helped heal people, and things that really touched you or your clients that you want to share a story or something that will help these beautiful people who are with us now. Anything that you've not just through experience, but through what you've learned inside, what you know helps on a daily basis. It might be only a few words. It might, I mean, we keep it down to maybe like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, something like that. But yeah, please. So I'm gonna ask one of you or any of you to hold your hand up, and then I'll bring you in one at a time. So just to introduce yourself, and let's just have a chat between me and you, and everybody else is listening. So here we go. We're gonna start here, and let me try and just take you off mute. Unmute. Yazim, how are you, Yazim? How are you?
Good. I'm Yasmin West.
Yasmin.
Yeah.
Welcome, Yasmin. Thank you. How long have you been a healer? How long have you been a healer for? Pure energy healer. Please tell us.
Pure energy healer, just a few weeks now. Yeah.
Brilliant. And before that, what have you done before that?
Before that, I've had 5 years working as a Reiki Master.
Fantastic. Well, that's a great start, guys, because you'd be surprised how many people ask this question. What is the difference between Reiki and pure energy healing? So I can't tell you that because I've never done Reiki, but it would be nice maybe if you could explain to the people what you feel. Is there a difference? Isn't there a difference? What does it feel like to you?
Well, with Reiki, you're relying on symbols that you're bringing in to connect to the higher source, just like you are with pure energy healing. But pure energy healing's much simpler. You're just connecting to source. And with Reiki, sometimes, the drawing of the symbols in your mind, it can get a little bit mechanical, I found, especially for a beginner, and kind of takes you out of that channel with source energy. So, I mean, it's a good system, but there's that added layer that, sometimes when you're beginning, you can struggle with. But what I was completely blown away with the pure energy healing course was the confidence I walked away with. With Reiki, I always felt like I never knew, if the energy took or not. But after going through the pure energy healing course, I knew without a doubt I was running very, very powerful energy. And the people that I practiced on, they felt it. And they told me they felt it. And the last session we did with the distance healing, he was also someone who had previous healing sessions done. And he's like, yeah, I could completely tell which areas of the body you were working on. And this was just us on Zoom together through the computer screen. So that was just an amazing transformation for me and my journey with healing, that, I knew this stuff worked, but to have such a strong confirmation gave me so much more confidence. So.
Wow, that's I should be thanking you. That's amazing. We have Lella Satie here. That's lovely. Hi, Lella. Just see if I can unmute you. Just stay on with us, please.
Okay.
Unmute. Hi, Lella. Can you hear me? Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear. So everybody, I don't know if you know, everybody who's attending tonight, the healers as well as all the audience, all the beautiful souls. Lella Satie is, do you want to introduce yourself, Lella?
Yes. First of all, I want to welcome all these beautiful souls who have joined the session, the impromptu Mark Bajerski style video session. And I'm sure you've seen me in the course, but for those of you watching on Mark's YouTube channel, I have done the first pure energy healing course. Oh gosh, it's been maybe 8 years ago. And I have done also Reiki before the Pure Energy Healing Academy courses. And I found similar what Yasmin just explained, that the symbols to me just kind of were in the head energy, whereas the Pure Energy Healing is just in the higher self, kind of intuitive, innate energy. And it didn't resonate with me. However, I did receive a few Reiki sessions from the person that I took the course from, and I enjoyed it. So it works well for him. I just felt that there was still something missing in my journey of discovering myself and wanting to learn everything for the mind, body, heart, so that I can be the master of my life, of my health, of my mind, my emotions. And I've done a lot of different modalities, and then I felt that the spiritual modality was missing. And then I saw Mark's YouTube channel, and I watched a lot of his videos, and I felt that, okay, I think this will be my next teacher. I feel that I can learn from him. And it was exactly that. Like, the first course I took was basically, it answered all my questions about spirituality, energy. And yes, I've learned a lot since, but everything was intuitive and organic and kind of like ancient wisdom that I felt was within me, but I just didn't know how to formulate it, how to understand it. And because I enjoyed it so much, I continued taking the courses over and over again until we created the online academy together. And thank you, Mark, for bringing me on and having me part of the academy. So now I am the director at the Pure Energy Healing Academy. And I want to thank you all for trusting that this work would make a difference for you, and for diving in and doing the course, because people like you are making a difference in this world.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Lella. She puts it all so eloquently. I'm a bit rough around the edges, but I get there in the end. So, Yasmin, thank you so much. You've only been doing it a short while, and yet you're able to see the difference between Reiki and Pure Energy Healing. And that's beautiful for anybody who's thinking about becoming a Pure Energy healer and wanting to know the difference, if they are a Reiki healer, to maybe doing the Pure Energy Healing course. Doing different modalities, doing like many, loads. Quick question I'd like to ask Yasmin, if you don't mind. Do you think that you had any hesitation in doing another modality, or did it feel good to learn different modalities?
It felt really good. I've been doing Reiki a while, so maybe I had changed on my journey a little bit too, to be fair. But it really deepened my understanding. And oh gosh, how to explain this? So you learn things technically in your mind, but when you actually put it into practice, that knowledge becomes a part of you, and it's different. It's different.
Yeah. And they don't interfere with one another, I guess. No. Or yeah, I mean, I couldn't. I practiced a little bit of. It was like an Indian kind of art, and it was called pranic healing, and I utilized that to take me to where I was. So I'd learned pranic And then I decided to follow my gut instinct. And just for those who might be thinking about becoming a pure energy healer, what that actually means is that you end up devising your own healing technique, because pure energy healing doesn't give you a technique. It just inspires you to trust in your own higher self, to trust in you and to follow what feels right. And that might sound like, what you're talking about, but it actually is a profound thing. What do you think about that, Lella? Did I explain that right?
Yes, I think you said it well, but I will try and say it in a different way to see, to perhaps answer a different way so that somebody else can understand in case they are not getting it. But what pure energy healing is, it's basically a set of tools that you learn, and you're given a set of inspired techniques that allow you to let go of your thoughts, get present to your higher self, your being that is within your physical body, so that you can be the conduit or the instrument for someone else's healing, so that you can help your client strengthen their energy and help themselves heal. And how you do that, it is a technique and it's not, in a sense that there is no strict rules or ABCs or 1, 2, 3s. There are certain things that we recommend. For example, we strongly recommend that before and after each healing session, you cleanse yourself so that you can center your own energy, so you're not picking up other people's energy. And there's, a few other things that you will learn, but it's then up to you to implement and to discover your own technique. We have pure energy healers who are creating so many amazing things with this technique. And the people that have taken the course or courses are from all walks of life, from all kinds of different backgrounds, from engineers to healers, from mothers to students, from all parts of the world, all socioeconomic backgrounds. And the ones that embrace the healing are either using it for their own healing, for the healing of their family members, or beginning a new vocation as a healer. And some of them are using it in their art. Some of them are creating art using pure energy healing, or being present to this beautiful knowledge allows you to bring it into every part of your life. So it's not only that you can help yourself heal, you can help others heal, but you can bring that energy into anything you do. Make your bed, cook your food, and or any other enterprise that you might be involved with. So I can think of another example. There's a lady who takes pictures, and then from the picture of the energy that she sees on her client as she's doing a healing session, she then deciphers certain things and gives them an insight of where the blocks are and how they can heal. So it's like the possibilities are endless. It's I would say a very creative energy healing technique, because you can discover your own gifts and figure out what is it that you can bring to the world.
Nicely put. Is there anything else you would like to say before we move on to our next practitioner, Yasmin?
Just that I highly recommend it. It definitely changed something inside of me. So.
Beautiful. And could you tell us all where you are based based in the world? And do you do, obviously you do online work as well, so they can get hold of you at any time. Whereabouts are you based in the world, please?
So I'm in Northern California in a little town about an hour north of Sacramento. And so I'm on Pacific time. And, my husband and I, we have multiple projects, but they can find me. I have a YouTube channel I'm kind of starting to grow. But my website, you can find everything about me and everything I'm doing. And that is thereikiaccountant.com. So
Reiki Accountant. Very good.
Yeah.
Oh, very good. Very easy to remember. Well, thank you so much for sharing that lovely bit of insightful information to everybody out there. And it's lovely having you here as part of the Pure Energy Healing family. Thank you for, being pulled towards this modality. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Glad it worked out.
Thank you. Brilliant. Okay, so I'm going to now put you on, I don't know, if you can put yourself on mute, that would be great. And I'm now going to go, if it's okay with you guys, I'm going to ask Peter to unmute yourself. Beautiful Peter, how are you doing?
Can everyone hear me? Am I loud and clear?
We can hear you. Yes, we can hear you.
Not too loud. Okay, that's fine. Thank you, all of you. Yes, I'm happy to be here. Happy, Peter. Yeah, my story. I've always, deep inside, knew that I was, in the eyes of the world, different. I didn't feel I was different, but I believed in all kinds of things out of the ordinary. And I delved deeply into that in the late 80s and early 90s, with conspiracy, frequencies, all that stuff. And I was always deeply interested in that. Never thought I would ever do anything with that. I did have, at 11 years old, a near-death experience that changed something deep inside of me, and I didn't really know what that was or what to do with it. And then when my mother died, 9 years after my dad died, I was searching for something that I didn't really know what that was. And then I discovered your channel on YouTube, and I was the one that watched at that time all your 1,200 videos. And I found my answers in that, and I found peace in that, and I learned so much about me and about dealing with grief. And I wanted to pass that on, but I had trauma experiences in school with bullying and going from school, going to work. I swore to myself that I would never, ever do anything with learning or whatever, because it reminded me too much of the trauma in school. And then I started and I did the tarot course just as a test, and I absolutely loved it. So from that, I did the Pure Energy Healing course, which was a gift from my fiance, Chandra. And 2 weeks after that, I did the Pure Energy, the Crystal course. And I combined that, and it opened a new world to me. When I finished the courses, I felt self-assured, more self-assured than ever. I was more me than I was ever before. People noticed me, even though I didn't attract the attention. And I felt that I had the ability in me, as everyone does, by the way, to heal people by passing them, looking at them, holding my hands over them, at Pure Energy Healing, a distant healing. The clients that I've had are from all over, even one animal. And I never really gave any examples of I'm working on this or I'm working on that. And later I got the confirmation from that client that yes, I felt a certain spot that you were working on. and it was the exact spot that I was working on, even though I didn't know. So yeah, and now after that, I did the flower reading course, and I want to do so many more courses. I don't know if there are more courses coming, but I want to do them all. I'm reading all the books, I'm watching all the videos, I'm delving deeper and deeper into the crystal properties, and it just opened a new world to me, and I feel amazing. And I recommend everyone to do this. If it's not for helping other people, then help yourself.
Very, very well
Feeling
put.
the world.
Yeah, 2025 is definitely the year of helping yourself. I actually believe that wholeheartedly. I think, you've just said it there. I mean, Peter's just told us all, if you want to find yourself, if you want to feel the best you've ever felt in your life, then this is it's not a bad path to walk. There's a lot of people, diss it. A lot of people say, "Oh, be careful." But actually, I never really felt any of those things. So I used to scratch my head most of the time when people used to say these things. Oh, don't do this with crystals. Don't mix crystals. Don't do that. And I just used to shake my head thinking, I absolutely have no idea what you're saying. I've worked with crystals for 2 decades. I've healed people for 2 decades. I've never had such a more beautiful life. Exactly what Peter's saying. And it opens you up to so much more, like you say. I miss it with all my heart. I do miss those days, and I envy all of you guys who are doing it now. It must be so beautiful. Peter, you're so eloquent. One thing I've noticed about Peter, I don't know about you, Lella, but Peter is one of those people that you feel that when he's there, you feel like you've got your best friend next to you. It feels like his energy is always supportive. It always feels positive. You always feel like it's going to be okay now because he's there. That's the kind of energy that I feel from you, Pete. And I think you're a very rare soul. And I'm very proud, hand on heart, really proud to have you as the family and to be in our lives. So
I learned from the best.
Yeah, I think you already, as I always believe, you already have all of it within you. All what we do is help you see that. Don't you think, Lella?
Yes, sorry, I muted myself. Absolutely. Peter, thank you so much for being part of this beautiful community of pure energy healers. You do bring light and joy and love to every conversation, to everywhere where I see you, whether it's a comment or you coming on and sharing your wisdom. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's beautiful wisdom. Thank you so much, Pete, for sharing tonight with us and being here. And wonderful soul. I'd like to. Thank you so much, Pete. I'd like to bring in Gary, if that's okay now. If you're able to unmute yourself.
Yes, I'm going to mute myself.
All right. Thank you.
Hello.
Hi, Gary. How are you? Lovely to have you here.
So my journey started, probably, I want to say, in my late teens. Always kind of the black sheep of the family as well. Never really fitted in quite with the family or with friends as well. Always had a different outlook on life. And always viewed things a little bit differently. I was the one that was sitting there meditating and, others were going off drinking and partying. And I just saw there was a little bit more to life than just sort of sitting there with a glass in your hand, destroying your soul, as it were. And I must say, over the years, that meditation, it leads you onto a spiritual path. And I always knew there was something else calling in the background, but didn't quite know what. And then over the years, it's, as you start to sort of go down that spiritual path, and it opens up to lots of different possibilities and, or modalities and stuff. And you start sort of looking and searching. And I'd always had a fascination with crystals and the energy of crystals, and that's how I found you. I just find that quite amazing, really. And then also, there's been a sense of healing in the background as well. There's always a calling of healing and healing. And there was one particular time that sticks quite well in my head with one of my friends. He suffered from chronic pain, and I said, let's you know, I can't promise you anything, but let me try and give you a little bit of healing. You know, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So him being quite the skeptic, he's like, nah, I don't know. So anyway, he came round to the idea of it. He was in quite a bit of pain. It was quite a nice evening. We sat there, and it went well. So we spent about 2 hours, and after them 2 hours, he felt so relaxed and calm, and it helped him greatly. Fast forward, what, 4, 5, 6 years, I suppose. I'm here now, sat in front of you guys as a practitioner. That's taken quite a bit of motivation on my part. There's always been, oh, should I do it? No. There's always some reasoning or something for me not to do it, or trying to convince myself not to do it. And I just needed that sort of motivation and kick to sort of say, no, you know, follow your path. And everything's just fallen into place. Ever since that day I've taken your course, everything's just seemed to fall in place. Clients have been coming, the healing's been fantastic. You know, I've only been doing it for the last 2 months professionally, but it's been, you know, out of this world. Been fantastic.
Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. That's a beautiful story. I think most of our stories are very similar, whether it's always a calling of some description that we're trying to figure out what that calling is.
Yeah.
And I find it fascinating that, you know, it's a kind of, I think everybody has a calling, but they don't know what that calling is. And it might not be pure energy healing, but I have noticed, and I don't know if Lella's noticed, but those that come on the pure energy healing course, not all end up healers, but they end up doing different things that took them on the path that they needed to go on. So I find that absolutely fascinating. So right now, Garrett, you know, that story that you told us of somebody feeling better, like in my understanding of healing, when you said what you said about your friend coming and he felt better, I don't think people really truly understand what that means, because feeling better can mean anything. What you mean was that you took a lot of bad energy, negative energy, and they're left feeling good. And sometimes it could be the first time in years. And that feeling good is a very, very, I guess, poor way of saying that you've healed that person in such a profound way that they have now got inner peace. They can feel a sense of relief. They can feel a sense of clarity inside and lack of bad energy, frustration, physical pain, mental and emotional suffering. I mean, that, you know, to play it off by saying he felt better, really, we need to explain to people it's far more than feeling better, right? Lella, what do you say about that?
Yes, absolutely, because you've said a lot, but I think if I am to summarize, sometimes, you know, you don't know where let's say somebody's trauma comes from, and sometimes they don't, and it's not really important. The important thing is that they're open for a healing, and that they receive a healing session, and then they will see the transformation in their life. And absolutely, there's many healers who have completed the course or both and haven't taken it as a career, but it has helped them in their life, and they can help their family. And they do give us amazing feedback how their life has transformed. So even if you don't feel like energy healing is your vocation or your career path, there's something that the Academy has to offer for every human being, because it's the wisdom that's in us. It's our ancient wisdom that we don't have access to in regular education. So we are lucky that we're all gathered here and exchanging that information. And we also learn from our amazing new healers. We learn from everybody's experience, and we take it on. So yeah, the Academy is for anyone and everyone. And that is exactly if anyone asks us, who are the kinds of people that are taking these courses? It's not a single person. It is the variety of people that I've mentioned earlier, from all walks of lives, all ages and races and everything.
Brilliant. Well said. So, Gary, can you just give us an idea? And I'll go back to Peter in a minute. You're practicing now for 2 months. Congratulations. It's always a big step to go full time. I know this personally. So, congratulations, and we're very proud of you. If we can help in any way, tonight will be a lovely introduction to everybody who will watch this on replay and who are watching now. 111. People who are watching now. So, yeah, it's incredible. So could you tell us how they could get hold of you if they feel the pull to come to you?
Sure. So you can get hold of me at garynewton.peh@gmail.com. And I'm based in West Sussex, down in the UK, in a little place called Littlehampton, right on the south coast.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Gary. Thank you for being a practitioner. Thank you for joining us. It's an absolute pleasure to have you here tonight, and keep up the good work, and may spirit guide you, and may all beautiful people be drawn to you where you are and around the world. Thank you, Gary, for being part of the family.
Thank you. Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you. If you could just mute yourself. And Peter, can you unmute yourself?
Here I am.
Pete, sorry, I forgot to ask. Could you give everybody some information of how to get hold of you if they would like a healing session with you in any way?
Well, I'm mentioned under my full name on the Pure Energy Healing list, so the worldwide list. So everyone can see my email address and my phone number. I think that's the best way to find me.
That's great. I never thought of that. Silly me. You're absolutely right. So, guys, I'm just going to share this with you all who are watching this now and on replay. The pureenergyhealingacademy.com. You will see at the top, find a healer. Click on that and scroll down, and you'll see everybody who's on here tonight. Hopefully it will be on that list. So take their name down and you'll find them as you scroll down. Thank you, Peter. Thanks so much.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Okay, brilliant. I'd like if Mary can unmute herself.
Hi, Mark. Hi, Lella. Hi, everybody.
Wonderful having you here tonight. I hope you're enjoying yourself tonight, and thank you for taking the time for being here. Could you introduce yourself to all our friends and tell them when you started the Pure Energy Healing course and what you've been up to?
I'm Marianne Morris. I'm from Green Bay, Wisconsin in the United States, and I've been a Pure Energy Healer for 2 years.
Yay! Fantastic. Tell us a bit about the Pure Energy Healing course, and if anything stuck out in your mind that people are maybe interested in.
The biggest piece for me was the empowerment, true empowerment to follow our intuition. That, I mean, to be as simple and clear as that, you receive that in too many places, at least I didn't. And to be empowered to use your intuition can take you miles and miles ahead.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. To those that aren't doing healing, might not truly understand that, but what I get from what you're saying is that your healing path in your journey as a normal day-to-day path it becomes so wide. Everything is, the possibilities are so endless to your life, and the journey changes within your mind, and everything seems that bit more clear and more potent and exciting and joyful. There's so many words that you can use when you've learned a healing technique that works. The excitement is overwhelming to be able to want to go up to a top of a mountain and start screaming out loud. Do you not understand how powerful this is and how it works? You know, you don't always have to go to a medical emergency, but maybe a healer can just clear that away within an hour. And we've seen miracles. All of us are here now as practitioners. We can honestly say that we've seen miracles where the clients have given up with medical industry and decided they'd no alternative, but they need to find an alternative, and then they're healed. How many people, raise your hand, have experienced somebody who's exhausted the medical industry and then come to you, and then all of a sudden they start to heal themselves? I can put my hand up and say it wholeheartedly. And the thing is, it's hard for humanity to see this because we've all been brainwashed to believe that we need to run to a man in a white coat, and it's not always the case. The human body is an extremely powerful tool that predominantly can heal itself in a matter of days without running there. But with a healer, you can heal in a matter of hours. Can you imagine that? And the thing is, people don't know, and it's hard for us to say that because we are free from ego. We don't want to say anything to make us sound like we're egoistic, and we pray most of the day that people find us to be. I mean, how many of you guys ever see somebody feeling really unwell and you know deep down that you can help them, but you don't want to say it because you don't want to pry or push or force? I mean, and we look up and say, if they need our help, we're here. And this is what pure energy healers do. I mean, we're not out there advertising. We're not on mainstream media pushing it. We're just healers in the background, and we're last resort most of the time. But it's still a beautiful journey, right? No matter what, it's still a beautiful journey. So, would you like to say anything else, Mary, about this journey and where you are now and what you're doing?
Truly, it's about aligning with spirit, like you say, simply aligning with spirit. And I love how you would show us and say, I don't want to know anything. And that is brilliant, because the person's soul aligning with spirit will show you. It truly will show you. And it's so profound and miraculous when you're experiencing it. It's just beautiful. And then to be able to allow the energy to work, allow the energy to flow, and allow the negative energy or denser energy to flow out of their bodies, and then fill them up with the energy of love and the healing. It's absolutely has changed my life and changed the life of so many of my clients.
It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Thank you for your positivity and uplifting energy here tonight and your message. Thank you so much. And of course, I think we'll stick with that. You are a practitioner now, and you're where are you? Where did you say you were? America?
I am in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Right. And you do online healing as well, absent healing and things like that?
Yes. And my website is MaryAnnMorrisHealing.com.
Perfect. Nice and simple. And you can also find her again at the Pure Energy Healing Academy. Just click on the Find a Healer and you're there. All your information's there. So anybody you're feeling a connection to, follow that. It's just like a crystal. These guys are all crystals here. Just follow the crystal. Just feel the crystal and go for your healing session. And I promise you, you will not be let down. So thank you once again for joining us tonight. Thank you, Mary. Thank you so much. Okay, so I didn't realize this, guys, and I apologize to all the healers who are trying to get on, because I'm getting flashes coming up saying that there are Pure Energy healers trying to get on, but I didn't realize that there's a limit on here. So I am really sorry if you can't get on tonight, and it's just one of those things. But there you go. So next we're coming to, is it Debbie? Do you want to unmute yourself, Debbie?
Hi, Mark.
Hi, how are you?
Hi. I'm great. I'm really great. This is so amazing. Thank you so much for your invitation to come here. I'm ecstatic to meet all the other pure energy healers here today. So my story is I have a long history of doing different modalities throughout the years. I was a nurse clinician for many years in mental health. And I always took other courses. I took like massage therapy and Traeger. I took reflexology, all kinds of different modalities, hypnotherapy. I just never, although people said to me, you know, you're an amazing healer. I'm like, no, I'm not. I didn't ever feel like that till I took your course. And I hummed and hawed for a long time. I listened to you for years, and I really enjoy your videos. You are an amazing man. And I found that when I took this course online, I didn't have a lot of expectations. I thought, okay, you know, I didn't ever take Reiki because it didn't align with me. And this course was online, and it was the best course I have ever honestly taken. It is truly. It gives me goosebumps even to just even talk about it. I felt so different after I took it. Honestly, it just brings tears to my eyes. Silly. And the effect that it had on me and on the people that I did the course, did the students, they were blown away. There's not even really words to explain how powerful it was like, okay, shoved into it by, the spirit, and said, okay, look, take this course. And I've had some of the distant people, the clients that I've done, some of them are like healers. And I said, look, can I just do some work with you and do this new healing that I learned? It's amazing. They're telling me, I can't believe how much different I feel. One person, it wasn't a physical healing. It was, he was not getting any work. He had no confidence in himself. And he said within a week, he was having people calling him for the business that he was doing. I did a distance healing on a lady a couple of hours from where I live, who very depressed, unhappy woman. Now she's doing all kinds of different things. Like it's not even just, it's not the physical part of it. It's just huge. Like I was blown away by it, Mark. Honestly, it's profound.
Yeah, you put it so well. That to me that's the healing. It goes beyond our understanding. It goes beyond words or anything that you can write, because what happens is basically out of our hands, and like you said, the reaction to the healing session can change somebody's life in such a profound way. And it might only seem a little thing, but it can actually be life-changing. And that's why I say sometimes a healing session can change your whole life. And that's why I encourage it. If every child in school learned pure energy healing, I guarantee you that bullying would be nearly gone. Because even with bullies, when you give a healing session, there's a connection. There's a connection and something happens. And I've seen this with practitioners, with family who they just don't get on with. And I two sisters just didn't get on with each other hardly at all. And then when she learned the pure energy healing, she gave a healing session to a sister. And the same goes with mother and daughter. Something happens and there's a profound something, that there's a bond and a connection that changes everything. So it's beautiful. And the way you put it, Debbie, is absolutely incredible. Thank you so much.
I thank you and Lella. Like, it was, I really had no expectations when I took the course, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, we've got to give Lella Satie a huge round of applause. We've got to, if it wasn't for Lella, this would never have happened with a lot of us, because I stopped doing healing sessions here and stopped doing the Pure Energy Healing Academy practitioners, Pure Energy Healing and Pure Energy Crystal Healing. So Lella took it upon herself to create the very, as near as possible to being here. And I think we can all say that she did a great job, eh?
Yes.
That's her.
Yes.
That's her ability. That's her just one of her little gifts of being a master director. And we're proud of her as well, very much. Thank you, Lella, from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you for look what you've done. Look what you've done. It's beautiful.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate the acknowledgement, and I feel that it's this community that is making the courses what they are, because you're embracing it and you're sharing it with the world. And so instead of it being gone, with Mark ending his practices and stopping the live courses at the academy, I think now we have this beautiful online platform where we meet our family from around the world.
Totally.
Thank you.
So, Debbie, did you say where you were from as well?
I'm from Canada. I'm from, I live near Toronto, about 2 hours from Toronto in Canada. And
are you practicing? Can people get hold of you for a healing session?
On your site. And,
brilliant.
Yeah. And also I do have a website, and it's debbieanderson.com.
Brilliant. Nice and simple. Nice and simple. Yeah. Debbie, your energy is incredible. I've got to say, tonight, everybody's energy is incredible. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing your beautiful words and your journey thus far. May it continue to be bright and light for everybody who you touch. Thank you so much. Well, Heather's managed to join us. Hi, Heather. Come in. Can you unmute yourself?
Hey, family. Can you hear me?
All good.
Oh, my goodness. Hi. I'm so sorry that I didn't catch the beginning, but I'm so happy and grateful to be here with all of you right now. And I want to say, first and foremost, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Lella. You are so humble. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mark. You are also so humble, because all of this has happened because of both of you, right? And I think that everybody here can 100% agree that our journeys brought us all here. But ultimately, it was just like Mark said a little bit earlier, we're all our own crystals, and our clients come to us because they feel drawn to our energy. That's what you two brought all of us into, is your energy. And I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed every single day to have gone through all of the hard things and all of the struggles and all of the horribleness of life, because it brought me here. It brought me here. It allowed me to ebb and flow into energies that I never would have gotten to experience. And taking your courses, and I have taken all of them, and I can't wait for the next ones and the next ones, because I'll be front and center always. But I really truly feel like healing is such a collaborative experience. I go into every single client interaction letting them know that this is something that's between us. I am not here to fix you. That is not my job. You do not need to be fixed in any capacity. I'm just here to help and support you in any way that I can. And let's just do this together. And one thing I'd like to share is I recently went through ceremony, and it was just this beautiful ancestral thing. And I took Mark's book with me, Seeing the Invisible, because it was a space and a time for me that I needed. I needed healing. I needed to pour into myself for a while. So I disconnected completely. No electronics, no communication with friends or family or anything. And the one book I took with me was Seeing the Invisible. And when I came out of that a few days later, it truly was, when you turn around, you see everything is in 2020. Hindsight is 2020, I think is the way you say that. I can look back and see the transformation that pure energy healing created in my life, and still continues to do so every day. I grow every day. I expand every single day. So it will forever be my honor to be here to shout to the world the benefits of pure energy healing. And I think right now, especially more than any other time, people are ready, and they're starting to really see that there's more to this than what we've all been told, and what we're only shown bits and pieces of, and how amazing this life truly is at its core. And so I'm honored always to be here. So I love you all so much. Thank you for giving me just 2 seconds of your time to blather on. And I wish you all well. Thank you.
Absolutely beautiful, Heather. You're a shining light. Absolutely. We love you so much, all of us. And thank you for showing us how to keep the joy, which is not easy these days. And you're very active on social media. You're putting out beautiful things, which I think is also very beautiful. We need more beautiful things put out there in the times of challenging moments of our life. So how long have you been a healer for, Heather, please? How long have you been a healer now?
2019, I think I took my first course with you.
Beautiful. 2019.
2019.
And, where are you for everybody?
I am in most magical Mount Shasta, the most beautiful place on the planet for me.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've been doing a bit of studying on Mount Shasta. It's phenomenal, eh? It really is phenomenal. And I'm blessed enough to get Mount Shasta Opal. So I'm really happy about that as well. And I love working with it. So I believe that this mountain here, I used to say the reason why my healing seemed to be very effective on people is because we're on a magical mountain, and the ley lines and the energy is phenomenal. So do you feel the same thing as well about being on your mountain?
I do. And I can see the mountain from my front door. So I wake up in the morning and I give gratitude to that mountain, and I go to sleep right before we go to bed, and I bow to that mountain every night. I say thank you because I do live in the forest. So I'm on the mountain range right opposite of Mount Shasta. They're called the Eddy Mountains. And so I'm actually in a forest looking at this beautiful mountain every single day. And the energy here is very, very grounding. It's very stable. It's very calm and very soothing. And when people pass through here, and a lot of people often do, they come with this frenetic energy, and the ability to hold space for someone, and for me to sit in a grounded space and be able to, it's very cleansing. I don't know if you feel this, Mark, but I feel like it's a heightened form of cleansing, that I can pour that energy, that frenetic energy, back into the ground, into the earth. These trees almost recycle it back. Like even right now, I can feel it on my body. They recycle it back to me, and it's like a heightened flow. It's beautiful. I love it so much. Yeah.
Wow.
So grateful.
Really interesting. One of the things that I'd like to share with people is that I used to be in a little room, and it was filled with just 4 walls and lots of different pictures and memories of clients that gifted things, or that I traveled the world and I was gifted something and I put it on the wall. And I found that when I was giving a healing session, sometimes your eyes just drift and fixate on something, and you pull the energy of whatever you're fixated on. And there are times when I was working here and looking outside of the window and fixated on the sea and pulled something from the sea. What I'm trying to say is that wherever you are, it's almost like you're guided to pull in a certain energy and frequency. And it doesn't matter whether you're in 4 walls in a little room or whether you're on top of a mountain looking at another mountain pulling that energy in. I think it's fascinating how we are fully focused on a positive moment to give us that openness to receive the very energy that we're looking for. And on a side note, a lot of my things on the wall have either Buddhas or gods or gurus that I used to get as gifts. And sometimes the guru would point to a certain place, or a picture, somebody's pointing to a certain place. And I'm like, okay, so you want me to go down there? You want me to go lower down? And like literally a picture speaks to you. And it's hard for people to embrace or even understand that. But sometimes when everything around you is a sign, you understand that. And when you leave the healing room, when you finish the healing, you start to realize that everything outside is a sign, and you embrace that as part of your life. And these are the things that we learn in pure energy healing. We learn to embrace the slightest or the subtle thought or feeling or what we're looking at, and we embrace it and we utilize it. We utilize it as a sign. So that might be something that you guys, if you're not healers and you're watching this now, it might be something that you could utilize in your daily life, whether you don't meditate or not, whether you just sit down and just look around, just feel. Don't look for anything, just feel and be pulled into where you need to be, or to what you need to see. So that would be something that I would recommend. As I'd also like to say, Heather, thank you so much for being here, and to tell us, are you practicing healing now, and where can people get hold of you?
I'm absolutely a practicing healer. And can I just touch on one thing? I want to say one thing about what Mark just said. There are no accidents in your healing either. Please don't look for doing things wrong. For all the new healers out there was a time where I would do my healings and my crystals would fall, or something would roll underneath the table, or I would think, oh my God, I'm messing up. And it ended up rolling right to where the person needed that healing. There's so many magical things that are going to happen to you. Just embrace it and feel into it, like Mark says, and find the positive in every moment. Look for the positive and you'll find more positive. And if you want to find me, you can find me at Hippie City Heals on Instagram, or at hippiecityhealing.com, or on Mark's website. I'm everywhere.
Hippie City Healing.
Yes, .com.
.com. There you go, guys. She's a hippie, and she's from a city, and she's a healer.
I was from a city.
So that's brilliant. Well, listen, it's been a lovely evening. I don't want to keep you all any longer. We've touched over an hour. I like to keep them around about 45 minutes to an hour. Thank you all so much for being here and taking the time freely to be here tonight, everybody. Love you all, hand on heart. Thank you for doing a great job in this world. Without you, the world would be a lot darker place. You are all here to serve, and I hope everybody who watches this on playback or are watching now live please take advantage of these beautiful souls, because they are the most powerful souls in the world. I know it, I feel it. And I wish you all the best. And to all the healers that couldn't get on tonight, I apologize. I did not realize that StreamYard only allows a certain amount of people on. So for those who couldn't get on, I will do another one shortly. So until then, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Mary, Yasmin. Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Gary, Debbie, Heather. Thank you, Lella Satie, for making this happen for everybody.
You're very welcome. And before we part ways, I just want to thank you, Heather, for your acknowledgement. And thank you for being that which you just said, looking for the positive in everything, and looking at all of you beautiful people here tonight, our new and seasoned healers. You can feel and sense the transformation in each one of you. And this is what pure energy healing is, to help everyone see the positive, because that's the only way to make transformation and to strengthen and to heal. Thank you all very much.
Yeah. On a final note, just before you go, anybody who is now maybe contemplating becoming a pure energy healer, I'm not so sure if the price has gone up yet. It might still be the same price, because it might take a few days for that to go off. I don't know. But anyway, if it is, take advantage of it. I'm not sure, Leila, if it is or not. So I don't want to say anything that I've got it wrong. But if it is, that the course is normally 550 euros, and it was, or still may be, at 147. So please go now if you want, and check it out, and welcome into the family. Yeah, I spoilt it by talking about that, didn't I? But anyway, there you go. Just in case somebody wants to become a healer, it's the Pure Energy Healing Academy. Is that right, Leila? PureEnergyHealingAcademy.com.
It's PureEnergyHealingAcademy.com or the PEH Academy.com. Both URLs will take you to the same place. I think we have someone from the Academy post the link on your YouTube, and that's what we will do when this goes on.
Is it could you do you know if it's still on special offer, Leila?
Yes.
Because
I can see.
Could we offer? I mean, if it goes back to the full price, could we say now, for the next maybe 2 days, we can just please leave it like that to honor it, a special offer for anybody watching this now, please?
Okay. Yes.
Brilliant. All right, then we're going then, and see you soon. Get on with your work, guys. Bye, everybody. Bye for now. Thank you so much.